In this exercise, I'm going to show you how to configure perspectives. Perspective is another end-user feature which is useful to reduce the perceived complexity of a busy model. For example, the way it stands, our AdventureWorks model has a few tables, about 10 tables. And the Power Pivot field list displays all of these tables. But it's not clear for me as an end user how these tables relate to each other. For example, I must know that the customer table is only applicable to the internet sales table because only customers place direct sales, or that the reseller table applies to the reseller sales table. And the list of the tables can grow as you import more and more tables. Then the Power Pivot field list is going to grow. So if you give this workbook to a user who is only interested in the reseller sales, it might be very difficult for this user to understand what metadata, what fields they need to select on the report. So this is where perspectives can help. And configuring perspective is very easy, although Power Pivot actually consider this to be an advanced feature. So let's go back to our Power Pivot window. And as you can see, I have an advanced tab in the ribbon. If this advanced tab does not show, you can expand the field list drop down and then click on switch to advanced mode. Right now it says switch to normal mode because I already enable advanced mode. And then you click on the advanced tab and then click perspectives. As you can see, the model always have a default perspective that includes all the tables in the columns. If you want to define a custom perspective, you click on the new perspective button, and then you name your perspective. Let's say my first perspective is going to be called Internet Sales, and I want this perspective to include only objects that apply to Internet sales, such as currency, customer, date. Employee table does not apply because AdventureWorks employees they only deal with reseller sales. Then maybe geography, internet sales, definitely product, and maybe sales territory. Now once I have a perspective, as you can see here, there are 3 buttons that Power Pivot actually shows on top of the perspective, which allows me to delete the perspective, to rename it, or to copy it if I want to create a new perspective which is very similar to that one. So let's go ahead and click the new perspective button again to now create a reseller sales perspective, and let's choose for that perspective. As you can see, I can select tables, entire tables, or particular columns in those tables to be included in the perspective. So for reseller sales, let's include the date, employee, geography, product, reseller sales, and sales territory. And now I have 2 perspectives. Let's go and click OK. You can test perspectives in diagram view and also when you create pivot reports in Excel. So if I want to test the perspective in Excel, if I switch back to Excel and if I have a pivot report, as you can see, the Power Pivot field list detects that I have perspectives and has a drop down here, so I can select a particular perspective. If I choose the default perspective, then all the metadata is going to be shown. But if I choose, for instance, Internet Sales perspective, as you can see, the Power Pivot field list kind of filters the metadata to shows me only the tables that I've selected.